Thanks to the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase and the Summer Games Fest, 2023 is packed with games, and we're going to run you through every single one of them so you don't miss a thing.
We've got diabolical dungeon crawling action coming our way in 2023 when hell officially breaks loose with Diablo 4. This time around though, everything has been supersized with an incredibly robust character creation tool and a vast open world that you can explore with other players thanks to fully enabled crossplay, couch co-op and designated PvP zones. And as of this month, players can head to the Diablo 4 website to pre-register for the game's closed beta, like I just did.
Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn is an action RPG in which you are waging a one-woman war on a bunch of ancient gods with the help of an adorable little fox. And while you're trying to absorb the sheer badassery of that sentence, let me point out that you're doing so by combining magic powers with old-timey pistols and a great big axe. It's incredibly cool and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass on release day next year.
So, you may have already completed your block-by-block recreation of the Taj Mahal in Minecraft, and then maybe had some monster slaying fun in Minecraft Dungeons, but how about something a little bit more strategic, perhaps? Minecraft Legends will put your relationship-building skills to the test as you form alliances and rally your forces to defend the land from the nefarious Piglin Horde, which threatens to very much destroy it. With Minecraft Java Edition, Bedrock Edition, and Minecraft Dungeons already available on both PC and Xbox Game Pass, Minecraft Legends will be in very good company when it hits both services on day one next year.
Team Ninja took to the showcase stage to reveal Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, an action game set in a dark fantasy version of the Three Kingdoms. So basically, a place where, as well as dudes wielding spiky clubs and giant spears, you also have to worry about being devoured by actual literal demons. Launching on Xbox Game Pass in the early part of 2023, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty has an undeniably epic look about it. We don't know much more about it yet, but I'm sure we will soon enough, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell when you're done watching.
The Xbox and Bethesda Showcase gave us our very first proper look at Arcane's vampire-filled co-op shooter, Redfall, which will be a day one addition to Xbox Game Pass. And trust me folks, it did not disappoint. It's giving 80s pulp horror with its creepy location, horrifying ghouls, and cast of sci-fi weaponry wielding oddballs. But much more importantly, it's also giving you a little robot helper buddy guy.
Riot Games dropped an absolute bombshell on the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase stage, with the announcement that a host of League of Legends titles and Valorant would all be coming to Game Pass, which means that subscribers can enjoy the full roster of champions and agents whenever they boot up these immensely popular free-to-play titles, while they'll also nab a whole bunch of cards from Legends of Runeterra and Little Legends for teamfight tactics. Basically, Xbox and PC Game Pass just keep on finding ways to save us money whilst delivering incredible games.
Hollow Knight returns for another stunning bout of hand-drawn action platforming, complete with a nimble new hero and a host of silky new skills for you to get to grips with. Silksong will be coming straight to Xbox Game Pass next year, and that's also where you're going to find the original right now.
You've conquered the Mexican desert in Forza Horizon 5. Now it's time to hit the tarmac with Forza Motorsport, tearing on to Xbox Game Pass for Xbox Series X, S, and PC next spring. The developers have talked it up as the most technically advanced racing game ever, and having had a look at the shiny new reveal trailer and heard all about the real-time ray tracing, dynamic night and day cycles, and completely overhauled physics system which they'll be employing, we reckon it might just have the horsepower to back that claim up.
There's more next-gen action on the way to Xbox Game Pass courtesy of Ark 2, and the latest trailer for this one really does have everything. Right, here we go, here's the list. Dinosaurs, yes. Bigger dinosaurs, yes. Even bigger dinosaurs with funky Flintstones armor and Vin Diesel on their back. Oh, absolutely, they've got that. It really is ticking all the boxes, and we cannot wait to start scrambling to survive in this deadly sandbox when it arrives next year.
This was the crowning glory of the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. Zero-G gunfights, giant space monsters flying through meteor fields like Han freaking Solo, Just when we thought we couldn't possibly be any more stoked about Bethesda's next big RPG adventure, Starfield shows off a new trailer and dazzles us with a whole galaxy. Heck, over 1,000 planets worth of new possibilities. When this one hits Xbox Game Pass next year, it'll be one small step to download, but a giant leap for gaming kind.
One of the biggest and the baddest franchises in gaming history returns to the ring next year with Street Fighter VI. With a roster boasting beloved characters and newcomers alike, multiplayer that features full crossplay and rollback netcode, plus an immersive single-player story mode, the 6th entry in this iconic series is looking like a real heavyweight already.
I don't know about you, but we simply cannot get enough xenomorph blasting action in our lives, so it's a good thing Alien's Dark Descent is coming to town in 2023. While Fireteam's Elite delivered some frantic ET blasting thrills, Dark Descent is going down the real-time strategy route. So no more of shoot first, think later.
If someone, perhaps a man with a penchant for emeralds and bad Wario impressions, convinced you that going to Mars was a good idea, then Fort Solis is here to make you think again. Arriving on PC next year, this mysterious first-person horror game comes and takes place in a futuristic colony where something has gone, well, predictably, terribly wrong.
Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes is a town-building RPG, which features a delightfully old-school anime art style, a huge cast of colourful characters, and an epic storyline. Taking full advantage of next-gen hardware, 100 Heroes is offering a slick, modern spin on the classic JRPG formula. It'll be heading straight to Xbox Game Pass, and players can get themselves acquainted with its wonderful world by checking out the prequel, Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, which is on the service just now.
How does a sci-fantasy strategy game from the team behind StarCraft and World of Warcraft strike you? Sounds pretty darn good, right? Well, it gets even better as Frost Giant's upcoming RTS Stormgate will be totally free to play when it arrives next year.
What if the 80s wasn't an era of funky music and questionable clothing choices? What if it was a time ruled by insatiable corporations that saw human beings as nothing more than a slightly inconvenient way to store precious organs? And what if you had to live in this version of the 80s as a sentient AI trapped inside a human body? That's the utter chilling premise of Replaced, which will be bringing its stylish side-scrolling terrors to Xbox Game Pass next year.
Next up, we've got one of 2023's biggest titles, which is coming straight to Game Pass for Xbox and PC. I'm of course talking about Stalker 2. This open-world FPS will give players their long-awaited chance to return to the nuclear dystopia, where deadly levels of radiation are actually one of the least frightening things you'll encounter out there. At the Xbox Game Showcase Extended, we were shown our first look at the opening of the game and the terrifying conditions that the Ukrainian development team have had to work through to create it, but the game itself looks like something truly special indeed.
Arriving next year for PC and Xbox Series X and S, the Plucky Squire looks to be one of 2023's most adorably inventive titles. Playing as a storybook hero named Jot, this dimension-flipping adventure allows you to travel seamlessly between the two-dimensional world of the page and the three-dimensional one beyond it. Full of retro minigames and just bursting with character, this one already looks utterly irresistible.
One of the unwritten laws of the universe is that ninjas are very cool, but they're even cooler in Ereban Shadow Legacy, where they've got mystical shadow powers and awesome high-tech gadgets. This slinky stealth platformer will be creeping onto Xbox and PC Game Pass next year, so if you're a big evil robot, that would be a good time to make yourself scarce.
Coming exclusively to Xbox Series X and S and PC next spring, The Last Case of Benedict Fox is a jazz-age detective story with some seriously gothic vibes. Playing as the eponymous Mr. Fox and his demonic sidekick, you'll delve into the memories of the recently deceased and scrap your way through monster-filled mansions as you try to crack a case that's anything but elementary.
Xbox and PC Game Pass will be taking us all to infinity and beyond with Lightyear Frontier, set to touch down in the spring of 2023. This experiment in extraterrestrial agriculture gives you the chance to start your very own farm off on some distant planet somewhere, even inviting your friends over to lend a big robotic hand. By the way, folks, this was my game of the show. Up next, we've got another Xbox exclusive coming straight to Xbox Game Pass. Ravenlok is a twisted fairy tale RPG where your happily ever after is actually far from guaranteed. Tumble through the magic mirror and delve into a stunning fantasy world full of clockwork monsters and deadly fungi as you try to overthrow the sinister Caterpillar Queen.
Now for a couple of titles that didn't make an appearance at either show, but which we're still incredibly psyched for. The first is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which offers us a timely reminder that sometimes it just feels good to be bad. This hyperactive actioner has you playing as infamous evildoers like Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and King Shark as they try to knock off their good Two Shoes counterparts once and for all.
And then there's the small matter of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which picks up where 2019's Fallen Order left off. Just like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Jedi Survivor will be a next-gen exclusive, so we can expect both titles to pull out all the stops and deliver a truly blockbusting experience to rival anything you've ever seen on the big screen.
Amazingly, there are still a ton more games arriving in 2023 that we haven't mentioned yet, so we're going to try and tear through the rest of them double quick, otherwise they'll have been released before you finish watching this video. Prepare for some cosmic puzzle platforming when Cocoon warps its way onto Xbox and PC Game Pass next year. More layers, more fears, and a next-gen canvas to work on. Layers of Fears looks set to offer the series' spookiest adventure yet. Reshape the past and ponder the great what-ifs with the grand strategy game, Ara History Untold, from the makers of Civ 5. If you can't wait till then though, go to their website and join their insider program for access to the pre-alpha build this summer. Enjoy a stunning reimagining of one of the greatest horror games in history when Dead Space arrives on January 23rd.
That's not to mention, Benny, that you can enjoy another one of the greatest horror games of all time a few months later when Resident Evil 4 arrives on March 24th. Having already been schooled by Persona 5, Xbox and PC Game Pass members will get to hit the books all over again with Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden on the way both next year. There's also plenty to learn over at Demonschool, a dimension-blending tactics RPG. What if the Moon's Haunted meme, but it's an entire puzzle platform game hitting console and PC in the first quarter of 2023? Well, then you'd pretty much have Lifeless Moon. You've tried Steam, Bio, and Cyber, but now add Atom Punk to the list with a retro-futuristic sci-fi thriller, The Invincible, coming to Xbox Series X and PC next year. And finally, if you love planes but are flippin' sick of all the taking off, flying, and landing that Microsoft Flight Simulator involves, then Airport Sim is swooping down onto PC and Xbox Series X and S to save the day.
I'm so exhausted from talking about all these games that I can't imagine what it's going to be like to play them, although the smart money says it's going to be pretty darn fantastic.